Good day, lion slayers. As you can see, the lionfish is very confident. Boom. Great shot by Alex here. He usually doesn't film, but I begged him and he went down there and did some filming for me. So that was awesome. He got a couple of great shots right there. This is a zookeeper that I'm putting them into. It's just a big tube with a funnel, and that keeps the lionfish from coming up. Boom! That was a huge one. Look at the size of this beefcake. You can't find big ones like this very often over in Boynton Beach, but that's why we travel. And thanks to awesome viewers and everything, supporting us, and then people giving us donations, we're able to, pay for this extra expense and get down to, different places in Miami, and we go north sometimes. It costs a lot of money to travel with a big old boat on the back. Now watch this. This is a pretty cool shot. This is a stoning. Now, if you look close, look at the body change. It's pretty dark and lighter and lighter and lighter. Oh my God. It's freaking white. It's just crazy. If you look at the head here, I'll zoom in a little closer. The head is still black as night. It's still very dark like the normal color. But then this lionfish has changed to ghostly white. Hey, buddy. Little spiny lobster. And it's just meaning that he was hit. So it's like when we get knocked out, we turn pale, we turn white as people. And that happens with lionfish too. He basically got knocked out and killed. And all of his brain functions are no longer there. He will turn his regular color shortly once the blood goes back and his chromatophores start working properly. But he's dead as a doornail. Now here's a cute little nurse shark. And we got this guy chilling in the barrel sponge. Now, the barrel sponge is a living creature. It filters water. And some people have actually used dye, and they put it down along the bottom of the barrel sponge, and it sucks up the dye and goes out through the center of the sponge, which is really cool to see how they work. And look at this guy sleeping on the job. Look at him just laying there like a lazy lump. That is a hogfish. You can see these cool little rooster tails coming off of his head. He was probably either getting cleaned by something or, bam, it's very dusty over here. Or he was, maybe taking a nap. I don't know. I guess fish like to take little breaks from life, I guess, and just chill out. There's not a whole lot of predators due to overfishing, so they're able to just kind of be themselves down there. Look at him. He's already found out that I'm coming for him. Scooting down between the barrel sponges. No. He doesn't understand spears. Lionfish don't quite understand the concept. They know that I might be a threat because I'm coming up close to them. So the best way to avoid them detecting you is to already have the spear drawn and ready to fire. And then you just kind of float up towards them in a non-threatening way. They don't see the spear as a weapon at that point. It's just a thing floating towards them. This was another great big one. Holy mother. Let's put him up here so we can jam him in there. Look at that. Wow, he barely fit in there. Woohoo! Party on. Now, this one I zoomed in on with this cool little macro lens that I have on my other GoPro, and you can see these spines pointing directly at the lens. That's how they stay so protected. They can literally move the spines anywhere they need to, and they can splay them out and put one on each side. So multiple predators can be blocked by the same splaying of spines. It's pretty cool that they're able to protect themselves so well. And our predators around here are just too weak to be able to withstand the pain that comes from trying to eat these bad boys. So they just don't do it. Look at that gray, beautiful gray angelfish. Where they're from, they've evolved alongside of the lionfish, so it is more likely to be eaten by predators over there. And they have adaptations that allow the lionfish to be eaten by them. And over here, not such a thing. Look at the size of this one. I stoned him too. Look at right in the top of the head. So he's down for the count. Look at the size compared to my head. It's a little bit in front, but you can see that's a pretty darn big fish. And you can see he's also pretty stoned. He's turning white as well. And sometimes it takes a lot of force to get that the spear back out of his head. Boom. Heck of a shot. When you get all three spear tips through the lionfish, it is a lot of pressure inside of there, especially if you went through the skull. So it's very difficult to pull back out, and sometimes you can damage your funnel trying to pull it back out. So we just use different techniques, and Gonna wiggle it just right to pop it right out. And we got a couple different sock puppets coming your way. We've got the spotted sock puppet. And look at these hogfish back behind. And all these cute little tiny itty bitty minnows. They're so tiny. Look at them all. Itty bitty bitty. And then we've got the green moray eel coming up here. Now this guy is just enjoying this little den, and his little den looks dead, right? You're gonna look at that and go, wow, there's nothing living on that. It's actually covered in life. It's just there's no lights that can penetrate. It's an overcast day. There's not very much light that's getting to the bottom of the ocean, so it looks extra bland. All the colors just kind of go away, and all you can see is greens and blues. I tell this to people all the time, and it's very common for people to ask, what's the deal? Why is it so dead down there? It looks ugly. And there truthfully is quite a bit of life on those rocks. It's not the most life in the world. If you're over in the South Pacific, you're going to see so much more life. But there's even areas in the South Pacific where it's pretty barren. It's just, when we dump sewage out of our intercoastal waterways and out of poop pipes and all these other things that we have in the ocean, it tends to hurt the ocean and make it so where corals can't grow very well. And then we've got warming waters that are killing off corals that are hundreds of years old that haven't died in hundreds of years, and all of a sudden now they're dying because the waters are just a little bit too warm. Luckily on these reefs, it's a bit deeper, so that is not the main problem. The main problem here is our intercoastals, letting out water from our state onto the reef. When that happens, the water that's coming out of there is this brackish water that's filled with all kinds of chemicals from our cars and from our agricultural systems and from our grass, pesticides and grass growing, chemicals. So if every single day all of this stuff comes out of this intercoastal and pours out onto the reefs every single day, every single year, it's probably going to cause some problems. Boom. Look at how dusty it is. It's crazy. There's a lot of silt in this area. Right in the top of the head. That's the best shot you can do. Come from the top and immediately kill the lionfish. A lot of our lionfish that we are shooting are killed pretty quickly. Occasionally you'll see some that aren't. Now here's another example. This fish is microscopic. He's so tiny. I'll show you how small this one is. We get the little ones. We get the big ones. We get them all. So I'll scoop my hand up here and I'll show you just how small this thing is. And look at how tiny. Look at how tiny it is. It's an inch and a half. So we get all of the lionfish no matter what. If it's really, really deep water and there's one that's super tiny, we might avoid that. Look at the remora on this parrotfish's back. This is a huge blue parrotfish. It's super pretty. Now he's coming by me, which they don't usually do. And he's doing that because he's trying to get rid of his little buddy on his back. He doesn't like this remora, so he's allowing me to get closer than he normally would. He's hoping that remora will leave him and go on to me. He's going to get closer to things like, stingrays, manta rays, sharks, anything bigger than him, turtles, in hopes that remora will leave him and go on to the bigger item. And turns out the remora didn't want to go on me. Apparently it knows I don't have food, I guess. Look at the blood coming from the bottom of that one. So you do see blood in the water, but it looks green. And real quick, you can see a anchor anchored on the reef. This is why it's illegal to anchor on the reef, because it damages the reef and people have to cut their line. And then a little bit later, we're also going to see a net on the reef. So that's not good because, it can clutter up the reef and make it dangerous for other fish to be caught in that net. And it's just not good to have garbage all over the reef. Well, thanks, guys. If you'd like to donate on Venmo, that'd be super amazing. Please follow, like, and share. Comment. Comments are awesome. We're trying to grow our Instagram and TikTok and our YouTube. And sometimes I'll even put up longer videos and different stuff on the YouTube, which makes it a little bit more special. The bigger this gets, the more people can enjoy the beautiful Atlantic Ocean and our travel trip dives as well. Look at this guy, boom, just hanging out in his tiny little barrel sponge volcano. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate everything. There's that net. Very disappointed. Lionfish Extermination Corporation signing out.